Hello guys. Well, this is my webinar. The text I chose is The Empirical Study on the Application of Cal in Writing Classroom by Fenglong Cao. The author is working at the Bamboo Medical College in China. This article was submitted in December 1st, 2014 and published as resubmitted by the authors in February 21st, 2015. Well, I chose this text, first of all, because it really challenged me. The reading really was intriguing in the sense that I couldn't see the possibility of using Cal in a writing classroom, believe me or not. Also, the author presented his arguments in a very brief, simple, and concise way. It really caught my attention. It's not a long text. I gotta be honest with you. 20, 30, 40 pages of articles, research articles, really don't call my attention. I don't know about you, but it really takes me a long time to understand those. And this one, really, 5 pages, I read like 3 times, and it was really easy. Well, another thing that called my attention is that this research took place in China with EFL students. We mostly learn about ESL students, and I really like the fact that the research took place in China. Why? Because the society has this thing about criticizing Asian speakers of English, and it's really good to me to see something being done about that. Well, the objectives of this research are to investigate the benefits and potentials of using Cal in a writing classroom. And why is that? Well, there is this claim of the author that writing is very important, is as a key component for foreign language learners as an important language output, reflecting one's proficiency in learning a foreign language. I don't know about you, but I've taken a proficiency test myself, and writing is like crucial in order to figure out someone's proficiency. And I totally agree with him. Also, students nowadays are very concerned about writing for exams and especially proficiency tests. So I guess developing a Cal method for those classes is something to make the teaching, let's say, less boring. So passing by the objectives, we have the methodology. He used both quantitative and qualitative methodologies because he wanted to make sure the results were relatively balanced and trustworthy. So in other words, he wanted to show the numbers, and he wanted to show the quality of his research, which we can see clearly. His research questions are: is Cal facilitative in improving students' writing? 2. Which aspect of the writing, accuracy, content, structure, etc., is most improved by Cal? What do the students benefit from Cal in writing classroom? So those questions led the author to these 3 hypotheses. Cal will act efficiently in students' writing classroom. Of different aspects of the writing, Cal works most efficiently in improving one's accuracy. And 3, students benefit a lot in the application of Cal in a writing classroom, such as their motivation in foreign language writing, critical thinking ability, teamwork and cooperation awareness, etc. So let's go to research design. 100 sophomores from different departments at a medical college in Anhui province were randomly selected. They were non-English major classes, and that's really meaningful in the sense that the students really weren't studying English the way you and I do. Ages ranged from 18 to 21 with the average of 19.33. Most of them had been learning English for at least 7 years successfully, and learners at this level have learned enough to write simple essays and have intermediate proficiency. The participants were randomly assigned to 2 treatment options. One of the groups, the experimental group, had computer-assisted writing lessons, and the control group received non-activities, non-Cal activities during the whole process. And each group was distributed with 50 students. So the study lasted for 7 weeks, including a mini lecture, 5 writing tasks, and a questionnaire to complete. All these tasks were measured in a way that they could be analyzed in the end to count as data. Right. So the results basically to the question are the efficacy of Cal in writing classes. Well, as far as the experimental group is concerned, there is a trend of increase in the mean score, which reveals that students in this group benefited and improved a lot in the Cal writing class. I really saw that in the charts. Unfortunately, I couldn't upload them for you. Something related to PDF, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V problems that the presenter couldn't manage. I'm sorry. But you can see that they, week by week with their tasks, they improve their scores in the activities. This is really good. However, in the control group, where students received no computer-assisted activities, no obvious improvement was demonstrated during the tasks. That is like precisely equal for me. I'm not a researcher. I don't have such eye yet, but I've seen that the numbers for the scores of the students are really, really similar week by week. And as for the experimental group, you see changes, you see improvement week by week occurring with the students who were put in contact with Cal classes. I'm really sorry I couldn't present the charts, the figures for you, but it's really easy. The text is really short. I'm sure you're going to check that because you're curious. Well, to question 2, the most improved aspect by Cal was accuracy. So they were really precise, assertive with what they were writing. So accuracy score increases with the passage of time, while there are no obvious improvements as far as content and structure are concerned. So students are really more aware of what they are doing, and they are being more focused and being precise on what they are doing. For question 3, the general attitudes the students have toward Cal in writing, most of them agree that the application of Cal in writing classes indeed increased their non-intelligence factors, such as motivation in learning, ability to learn, critical thinking ability, and cooperation awareness, and communicative competence. This, of course, is for the experimental group who had contact with those classes. And the researcher displayed for us some answers that the students had in their tests. They were to evaluate Cal in writing, so here are some of the answers. Student A: I think this method of practicing writing, to have a computer with many useful software to help me finish the composition, is really useful. In the past, I did not like English writing, but now I think it's full of fun. I really expect to have writing classes like this in the future. Swear to God, I wish one of my students wrote that. Student B: in the past, I always relied on the teacher. Whatever she said in class, I just keep taking notes. Things are different now. I read the model composition on the computer. I also look up in the online dictionary when I do not know the English translation or equivalence of a Chinese word. So this is very important. Cal is really repositioning the teacher not as the central figure in the classroom, but as a facilitator. And this is very important for students to notice. Teacher is not a dictionary. Teacher is not the only way through learning. So they really use computers as tools, as helpers. Well, student C, I find there is a problem. The autocorrection function in the computer is not always correct. Sometimes many words underlined by the computer suggesting there is an error are actually not wrong at all. So I do not trust it all the time. I do agree with student C somehow because the autocorrecting mode in my computer is not trustworthy to me. But, you know, it's not perfect. Computers are not perfect. And neither are humans. So it's okay, I guess, not to trust. Well, the results gained from the experiment may shed light on future research and also give some pedagogical implications to the writing classroom. For example, although Cal in writing is facilitative in accuracy, the improvements in content and structure are not obvious currently, which is a question worth thinking. So I guess researchers may take a look at this article and say, okay, Fang Long achieved improvement in accuracy, so how can we do that for content and structure? So it's a start, right? The conclusion of the author is that, in a nutshell, the significance of this research lies in that it explores the efficacy of Cal in writing classes. Some findings echoing with the previous ones, some beyond the existing discoveries. Also, the reason of these benefits are also discussed. Results of this study may provide a basis for further research and directions for a larger study. Incorporating the stages of writing process approach in a collaborative learning environment via Cal is a practical strategy to be implemented. So the text really proved its point. It really convinced me exactly where I wanted to be convinced that we can do. We can apply Cal to writing classes in a way that students will like, in a way that they will have autonomy, in a way that computers will not be monsters, the computer will not be the only source of knowledge, and the student will be in control. So the presenter's analysis of this text is that both teachers and researchers are not naive to think that computers do not have a potential use in classroom, especially for EFL. As a personal remark here, I can say that students are using computer every day in their lives for the most varied purposes. So why not include learning there? I see, for example, 11 through 13-year-olds thinking that computers are toys, and I guess we can reformulate their thought on that. Investment in education is taking place. We see research, we see application of research, especially at our university. I see that the research is being masterly, beautifully shown to teachers, and courses are being offered. So chances are that teachers are following and teachers are looking for improvement. Society change starts by teachers. Well, I want to say that because that's what it is, you know. We see that children are the future, but who is there to guide them? You know, teachers are these people, and by reading this text, we are getting prepared to help them choose the best path. And also, this text is here to prove everyone that English is not an alien language. This is a mission English teachers have with society, with their students. And since English is not an alien language, everyone can have access to it through the most varied tools, being one of them the computer. Well, this is the reference of my text. It was found at Campus Periodicals. I'm sure you can find it there, but it's there on Moodle for everyone as well. Thank you so much for enjoying my presentation, and